Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive into the 2-controller gaming stand. And what I mean by that is I got some visual references I created. We're going to be talking about the instructions and the files themselves, how to use it, and all of that good stuff. If you don't know what digital laser files are, they're basically file designs that I create for laser engraver owners so they can use these files, print the physical items off, and then sell the physical items or use them for their own personal use afterwards. So you can sell the end product, you just can't resell the design. So keep that in mind with all my files. They're commercial use for the end product only and not the file. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and talk about this. You can either get them from freshstartcustoms.com or Fresh Start Customs on Etsy. And when you go on Etsy, for example, and you want to read more about this file, you can click on it here and you can see everything that it's made for and tested with. And once you add it to your cart and make a purchase, it's going to download as a digital zip folder. It's going to look something like this, and then you'll unzip the folder and it'll become a regular folder. As you can see, it's zipped already and I'm double clicked into it. Once you have the regular folder open, you're going to be presented with something similar to this on all of my designs. I highly recommend you read the How to Use Our Files Properly file first. That's why if you expand this, it says read before doing anything. If you double click on that, it's going to give you step by step how to use these files, what it's going to look like, just like we are in this video. So I'll let you read through that, but it's going to give you all of the warnings letting you know that if you're using a third-party program other than Illustrator, you will want to use the PDF file so it doesn't shrink in size on opening. Some programs have different settings, so keep that in mind. This illustration here shows you which files to open with which programs. So just a heads up on that. So after you read that over, you'll see the actual instructions here. I recommend looking at these next to be safe. I've already got them open in here. This shows you exactly how to assemble the files itself once you print them off. And it shows you the exact thickness of each material you need. So if it's proof grade material like this, I always put the exact measurements read by a digital caliper. And this has masking tape on both sides. So that's how thick it is with masking tape. Once masking tape is off, it is a little bit thinner than this, so keep that in mind. Next up, we'll talk about the actual files themselves. So if you're using Illustrator, you can use the SVG or the AI files. Same thing with Glowforge. It accepts pretty much any of these without shrinking down based on the correct settings they should be. If you're using Inkscape, for example, though, I would highly recommend using the PDF version so it doesn't shrink on import based on your program settings. So if you do that, you can open up both of these files, and then they're going to open up, and they'll look just like this here. I'm going to highlight this first one, and it should be this size right here, unless your program has a missing decimal point. Then it's going to either round up or down. So it should be very close to this in size. If it's not, open up the PDF file. Make sure you have the PDF file open, and it should scale back to the correct size here. Next up, this is the wood parts. I'm going to highlight this so you can see the correct sizing for that on import, just so you can view that if you have this program and I send you or you have this file and I send you here if you're having an issue with your program. That's the correct sizing it should be. Now, once you print this off, it is going to look like this, all the parts and pieces here. You're going to have that thicker acrylic in the inside and the bottom base, and then you're going to have the thinner wood on the outsides and the top base here. And this is kind of how it gets assembled. As noted in the instructions here earlier, you're going to be taking the two sides and assembling these 5 support pieces in the center. And then you're going to be tapping it into the first base and then into the last base. And ultimately, it's going to look like this in the end result here after those tabs get tapped all the way in. So hopefully that is a quick rundown of that. Now, if you don't want it to be a 1/4 inch in the insides, you will have to do some editing. So for example, you'll have to come into the wood parts here, and you're gonna have to double click and then double click again to get onto the slot itself, and you'll have to change the height of this slot. So we're gonna change it to an 1/8 inch here, and you're gonna have to do that with every single slot and change that height if you want it to all be an 1/8 inch thick. And you're gonna have to change each individual part and piece. All of these you'll need to change, and then on the acrylic piece, this will technically fit, but the tabs are gonna stick out further, so you're gonna have to edit the tabs as well. You can click like the direct selection tool and just click on the end of this piece here, and then move it in with your arrows to about 1/8 of an inch. And you got to do that on the other side as well. So click the other side and then move it in with your arrows until you get to about 1/8 of an inch. And do that for every single one. Or you can just do it to the first one, hold Alt, and then you can copy and paste as many of these as you need. And then you can delete the rest like this. And you now have it ready for an 1/8 inch material all the way around. These will be 1/8 inch wood parts then at that point. And since these slots are already set up for an 1/8 inch to go into, you should be all set in theory there. So overall, hopefully this is a cool style video here to show you guys an overview. I know I kind of went a little bit fast on this. If you want me to slow down in the future, let me know. If you like this style and this speed, let me know. This is my first attempt at it, and I'd like to do more of these in the future. So if you enjoy this style here, let me know down in the comments below, and we will talk to you guys in the next one.